Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ira Smith, President of Ira Smith Trustee and Receiver Inc. Firstly, the Ira Smith team hopes that you and your family are safe, healthy, and secure during this COVID-19 pandemic. Wanted to let you know that both myself and Brandon Smith are available to chat with you, meet with you, answer any of your questions. We're doing it all by telephone or video chat, so we are fully operational. Today's Brandon's blog really doesn't have anything to do about debt restructuring, but it's more of a public service announcement we're doing about the recent hacking of Canada Revenue Agency login database. The recent credential stuffing hacking that was reported by CRA last weekend. There's not a lot of information out there, so what Brandon did was he went through all the publicly available information and we put it in one place so that hopefully we can inform you as much as possible. So I know you're going to get value from this video. I hope you can watch until the end. So last weekend, Canada Revenue Agency announced that its computers were hacked by credential stuffing hackers. What credential stuffing is that hackers who got people's usernames and passwords from previous hacking events then take that information and they got into people's accounts with Canada Revenue Agency. The theory being that people tend to keep the same username and password and use it for multiple purposes. And they're right. And that's how they got in. 5,500 accounts, CRA announced, were affected. And it wasn't just one hacking. It was actually, when they announced it last weekend, it was 10 days old because there were 3 attacks. The first one was the most serious one, but that had happened almost 10 days before the announcement last weekend. So what did the hackers do? The hackers, once inside individual accounts, they could do several things. The first thing they did was they changed banking information, and then they applied for the Canada Emergency Response Benefit to be direct payment into the account they now put into that person's database information. But they also first were able to see each person's banking information if they were set up for direct deposit. Who knows what they're going to try to do with that information? That was the main purpose of the hacking. How do you know if your account was part of the hacking? Canada Revenue Agency says that this week they're going to be advising everyone by either letter or email. And email, you can decide for yourself if you think that's a proper way of advising people. But they say they're going to let the individuals know if their account was hacked. Last weekend, people started reporting that they were getting emails from CRA confirming their application for the CERB, even though they knew that they had not applied for it. So that was the first tip-off that there was a big problem. What should you do if you were impacted by the credential stuffing hacking of the Canada Revenue Agency database? First, you should get instructions from CRA on how to reactivate your account, and you should set up additional security features that are available within the database for better security. Then you'll also have to check with your bank if you were set up for direct deposit. Make sure there's no irregular activity through your bank account. Change your username and password. Annette Boudikofer, the Assistant Commissioner and Chief Information Officer, Information Technology for the Government of Canada, is recommending that you set up these additional security features within the CRA database. But that's not all she did. She did and has, in our opinion, a lot of chutzpah in that she started saying somewhat condescendingly in the press to people that you put yourself at risk by using the same username and password over multiple accounts. Now, from our perspective, perhaps you should be looking in the mirror and asking, why didn't she put in better security features so the CRA database could not be so easily hacked? As a matter of fact, credential stuffing was done on the IRS US government database back in May, same thing over COVID-19 benefit payments, and she certainly must have been aware of that. So she had June, July to up the security of the CRA database and other government databases to fight against credential stuffing, but apparently she didn't do it. So that's why we say she has a fair bit of nerve talking down to Canadians whose accounts were hacked rather than questioning why there wasn't better security in the CRA database. Now, the problem the shutdown of the database provides is that people are still needing to apply for benefits. So what CRA says is you can call a certain phone number that they've advertised and is down below in this Brandon's blog in order to apply over the telephone. The problem is that telephone number is the general line for all personal tax inquiries. Now, the government says that as part of the telephone system, they're going to have a special numbered button you can push if you're calling because you've been affected by the credential stuffing hack, but I'm sure the phone lines are going to be jammed and you're going to have to wait a long time. CRA also says that they're going to prioritize the claims and phone calls of people who have been hacked, but I'm not so sure, there's no information available. Are they going to prioritize that when you apply for benefits, or are they going to prioritize only people wanting to report that they have been hacked? So I hope they have good music while you're sitting on hold for a long, long time. The RCMP and the Privacy Commissioner are now looking into all of this. It will probably be some time until we know the full extent of what went on and what damage was created by the credential stuffing cyber attack. So in the meantime, add extra levels of security. Change your username and password. Don't use it over multiple databases. And if you've been hacked, check with your bank, check online your bank account, make sure there's no irregular activity. So I hope you have found this Canada Revenue Agency login, Brandon's blog, informative. I just want to assure you again that Ira Smith Trustee and Receiver Inc. is fully operational. Send either myself or Brandon an email if you have any questions about this Brandon's blog or anything else. You can send us an email, you can give us a phone call, we can even do a video chat with you. So we hope that you and your family remain safe, healthy, and secure.